Hello, I'm going to show you how I created a mini flipped unit on the 3 branches of government through Schoology. I use Schoology for my 3rd grade classroom daily. My students are able to access information, supplemental materials, and lessons, as well as assessments from every subject, cross-curricular. I also have curated a list of safe search resources and collaborative applications that students can use if they have a question, if they want to research something more, or if they want to work together on a project. So this is my list. So I would like to show you my mini flipped unit on the 3 branches of government. So I would click on my social studies unit, 3 branches of government. And here you will see all of the different assignments and projects that I have created, as well as a virtual field trip, a web quest, and a link for the final test. I'm given directions and examples for each one. I have also created an I Need a Little Help. And this is for my lower level reading students. So if they are having trouble reading, they can follow along with me as I have read each lesson from the online version of the textbook.
Hi friends, I'm going to read Lesson 1 of Chapter 4 for U.S. Government. You can follow along in your book or with me here on your iPad. Remember to highlight some important information, and don't forget, you need to tell me 3 reasons why we need to have a government.
So that's just the example of that. The first introduction was a music video through Edpuzzle that I had added questions in, so the students were able to watch it. They would click on that button. They would sign in, and here this is mine, but you would see me sign. They would sign in and play the rap song. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit till you get to the first question.
Who's got the power, but who's got the power? 1, 2, 3 branches. Who's got the power, but who's got the power? 1, 2, 3 branches. Who's got the power, but who's got the power?
And in here you can see how many branches of the United States government are there, 3. As the students progress through this, I can see their feedback in real time through Edpuzzle. I can see that a student here watched the sections of the video the number of times that she did that. She must have had some trouble on the last question, so she watched that 4 times, which is fine. It's good to see how that they are processing the information and how they're using their resources. And here I can see her answers to the questions along the way. Once they finished that, they were to go to lesson 1, and there they can read in their book, or they can listen to me read in the book and follow along. And they were to highlight important information, which we have modeled all year long, so they know how to do that. And then they were to go to Padlet and tell me 3 reasons why they needed government. And you can see here that my students have done this. We did this on Tuesday, and tomorrow we will go ahead and, during discussion, talk about this. This is a mini flipped unit because traditional flipped units have students working on lecture or videos for homework, and then during class time are discussing or collaborating on projects. Unfortunately, from a survey conducted, my students do not all have internet access at home or devices. So we use our morning work time for them to do the viewing or the research part of the flipped unit, and then we will discuss during class time. So that's why this is a mini flipped unit. You can see the responses there. Once they do that, then we move on to our legislative branch. Here again, they can read and highlight, or they can listen to me and highlight. they are going to create an interactive poster using ThingLink, and I gave them an example of that. And I had 3 hotspots on my ThingLink that showed them facts that they would need to research, either through their book or through the curated sites, to tell me about the legislative branch. And then during class time we will share that. The next was the executive branch. Here again they're going to read during their mini flipped time or listen and highlight, and then they will use Kiddle or Pixabay to find a picture of our current president, and use the app ChatterPix to give a summary of what the executive branch does. Or I added some different options. They could write a letter to a different country explaining the role of the president. They can do that on Pages and then upload it. And then I have given a rubric for the assessment they can look at. And they were able to click on this on the iPads. It comes right up. I don't have to download or save anything. But when doing this on the computer, I gave an example.
Hello, my name is Donald Trump, and I am the President of the United States. I am also the leader of the executive branch. Your teacher wants you to tell her about all the different responsibilities I have. She also wants you to tell her how long I can be in office and who elects me. Good luck.
There you go. The last lesson is about the judicial branch. And they're going to imagine that they're Supreme Court justice and tell me about their job. They can do it in their choice. It's up to them. And I gave them some ideas of what to use. And again, I have the rubric. But this is their choice on however they feel they want to display their information. I feel that if they get the choice in the matter, then they're more engaged and involved in the learning process. And we have done this previously in the year, so they know how to use all of these different applications. The last one is the levels of government. And they're going to use Poplet to give me a flow chart about the different levels of government. We've used Poplet before, so they understand how to use this, and they will work together in groups. They are able to choose their own groups as well. Finally, it is a field trip. I have to set this up, but we will be taking a virtual DC Monuments tour. I just have to set it up for our specific date. And they can click on that. We can do that all together as a class, or they can do it in groups at specific times. We also have a web quest with our Wikispace 3rd grade superheroes, and they would go through and follow the clues and the questions to do their web quest. And then finally, they would log on through the final test portion, and they can do this in the morning when they come in. There's a test link to Socrative, and I would just need to make that live when we're ready to do their testing. So again, this is all mini flipped. We do discussion and sharing of ideas during class time, and then readings and viewings and working on projects collaboratively during the morning work time. So that is my unit on the 3 branches of government.